Welcome to Band Geek. I'm Richie Castellano.
Oh my god, the wall is black behind us.
Joining me today is my co-host Jarrett Pressman.
Look at all my new tattoos. Ooh.
Oh, you got new tattoos since last time?
Yeah.
This is the first thing we're attempting to record in the new studio. I should have worn pants. I just realizing that now.
Oh my god, my legs look huge.
They do, but we can always tilt that camera up if we want.
No, I'm
Or
embarrassed.
we could do this. We could zoom the camera in. Actually, I don't really care enough to do that.
Nah.
We also have a special guest today joining us. Two guests, all the way from Berklee College of Music.
Oh, now you can't see our legs.
Oh, we all look how we did that.
Oh,
we
yeah.
can fix that. How we fix that?
I can fix this.
I can do this.
I can do this.
Okay, that's better.
Oh, now you're...
Better. There we go. Is that better?
You know how our fans really like just watching us fucking...
Take your what stuff?
Futz. The word is futz.
Oh, futz. Okay, we're futzing. We got this.
Oh.
Hey!
Oh.
But now we can't see us. Okay, hold on. We got this.
I'm gonna hide behind the...
Hey, let's spread out a little bit. There we go, and now we can see everybody.
Hey.
And now it's a happy.
All right,
thing.
wait, hang on, I'll do this. There we go.
Look at that. Hey! Okay, joining us is my cousin Phil Castellano. Wave, Phil.
Hey!
And we have a special guest, Phil's roommate, Joey Albano Feiger. Or Joey Bruce Banner Feiger. What?
We'll pick it up later. We'll pick it up later.
What was that?
What?
Who was that?
What was
Philip! Philip, what are you doing up there? I'm sending this to your mother.
Oh my god.
Philip, young lady, what are you doing to my cousin?
I'm so much more impressed at the commitment. Like, Nick, Justine, you committed, and I'm very...
Yeah, very good. Justine,
Very...
round of applause.
Thank you for that. She's been under there for like the past 25 minutes.
Yeah, we were troubleshooting stuff with the new studio, and she was the champion and just sort of hung out there the whole time. So thank you, Justine. So what we're talking about today is Avengers Infinity War. And we have some show and tell first. So you want to go first, Jarrett?
Just in case people aren't familiar with the Marvel Universe, I brought my 1990 Marvel trading cards. Just in case you don't know the characters, I have all the holograms. They're right there. Ooh.
I'll show this to the camera. Hold on.
Ooh, holograms. And you know what? I thought hanging on to those, they would increase in value, and they did not. But there is a lot going on in Infinity War, and this doesn't really help, but I brought it anyway.
I brought some show and tell today as well. I actually vaguely remembered having this, and I looked in my collection, and I did have it. This is a...
Oh, there you go.
Hey, look at that.
Hey, you can see his hand. He looks so mad.
This is... I bought this in the day when it came out, and I think I loved it so much, I only bought the first issue of it.
Kind of makes me mad that he can't move his fingers. We'll get into that, I'm sure.
Well-
He's just stuck like this, right?
I don't know, but we're going to talk about the movie. We're going to talk... What's going on?
Oh, did you guys... Turn off the...
Are
Hey!
you guys putting sexy lighting on or something?
I don't know. You guys look blue. We wanted to be blue.
It looks like you're throwing your own surprise party.
Phil just had his surprise party.
Am I blue?
So, okay, so normally what we do when we do these sort of things... What, are you having a rave over there? Actually, that looks cool. So normally, how do we do this? We talk about like what we thought about it overall, and then we get into the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't we let our guests go first?
Yeah. So Phil, what'd you think?
Oh my gosh, I thought it was phenomenal. I was floored by it. Speechless at the end.
How many times have you seen it?
We've seen it about 5 times? 6 times?
What?
Yeah.
So many
It's
times.
been out what 3 days?
Yeah.
It came out last...
6 days ago?
Yeah, it came 6 days ago.
What's wrong with you two?
How about you, Joey? You saw it the same amount of times?
5 times.
And Joey, you're a Marvel expert, right?
I believe I am.
All right, we're gonna check your history here with the 1990 Marvel trading cards.
MCU expert. Sorry.
Oh, all right.
Oh, so you're not a comic expert. You're an expert on the films, you'd say?
The films, the television shows, the one shots. I have seen all of them numerous times.
Okay.
Is it 19 movies? Is this 19? Like number 19?
Agent 19. What?
No. Is this the 19th like movie, like from Iron Man forward?
What movie is this? This is
This is 19.
Hold up. Iron Man 2, Hulk, Thor, First Avenger, Avengers.
We're so prepared for this.
I don't know. I just
look up.
Iron Man
The
3.
18th,
because I want to when we get into
It's
it.
the 18th movie.
Are we sure?
Yeah, look.
All right, so it's movie number 18. Now Joey, did you like it?
I was in tears from start to finish, but that's just because the theater was really sandy. So, no. It was phenomenal. Almost everything I could have hoped for. Most of my predictions were right, and then I died along with most of everyone else.
Spoilers.
Oh yeah, right.
Sorry.
Guys, this is spoilerific. There's going to be a boatload of spoilers in this. We're going to go into details. Muff, let's bring everybody down with your normal bullshit.
I'm not the worst. No, I fucking enjoyed it. I have only seen it once, unfortunately. The reason I asked what movie it is because I enjoyed the flick a lot, and there was definitely things that I really, really liked about it. But I'm so more impressed at this like massive feat. Like that's why I asked how many movies, because it's just seems like it was seamlessly from our perspective. It just all came together like correctly, and they stuck the landing like for sure.
Yeah.
Like Joey said, like the one shots and the TV shows and just everything just feeding into each other, like that's insane, the amount of like preparation and shit. And they have like 15 films in development to continue. Like that's nuts.
Yeah. I loved it. I had a hard time with it because I'm such a big DC fan, and it's like I look at it and I go, wow, like we really didn't get what we should have got from DC, and just to see how it should be done. And look, I was right there with everybody with the DC movies, saying like, look, not everything has to be like a Marvel movie, and I believed that. But then like something weird happened, like right before Justice League, they said, well, maybe we should do it like a Marvel movie, and they realized they didn't know how to do that.
Right.
So, but it's like I don't want to get into that. I don't want to spend too much time on talking about Justice League. But as a diehard DC fan, this one hurt, but it was so good I didn't care, because for those 2.5 hours I was a Marvel fan.
Yeah.
You know? I have this as proof that at one point I did give enough of a crap about Marvel to buy this comic book when I was a kid.
The holograms. I went out of my way to get the holograms.
Let us in. We have friends. Let us in.
Please, let us into your club.
But no, I thought it was, the word I came up with is, this is a triumph, because
Wow. All right.
like I don't think,
Because no one can poop on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
like I don't think JJ could have done this. I don't think Joss Whedon could have done this. I mean, Joss Whedon helped build this, but I think like I was so happy that the Russo brothers did it, because I thought they knocked it out of the park with Civil War. Like I thought Civil War was stupendous. You know what I mean? Like, and this, like, I was just looking at it and I said, oh my God, like what a balancing act they have to do to get all these characters into this movie and make it interesting.
Yeah.
And I just felt like every new little. I liked all the interesting pairings of characters. I liked all the environments. And this was an interesting thing about this movie. Like, for the first time, we had cool environments.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Titan was pretty cool, and Wakanda is great from Black Panther. So, you know, they had a lot more cool stuff going on than usual. And I thought they weaved it into a very tight story. You had problems with the pacing.
There was a couple of things just because of like the Thanos thing. Like, I don't think I was prepared for him to be like the main, but like it's Infinity War, it's the gauntlet. Like Thanos is the villain, but I didn't really expect him to be like the focus of like the story.
Okay.
So that kind of threw me a little bit. But I agree with you 100%. And like when they were introducing like everybody and seeing like here's where Spider-Man is and here's where the Guardians are and stuff like that, I like how those felt like their own movies. Like they played that the Rubber Band Man, the Detroit Spinner song.
Right.
And I was like, oh, it feels like Guardians. All right, cool.
Yeah, they they captured the essence of the franchises, like when they
individually,
like the Guardian scenes felt like Guardian scenes. The Doctor Strange scene felt like Doctor Strange.
Right.
You know, what about that? What do you guys think of the pacing?
All right. So the first time it was just all going like one thing after another, and like I barely had like enough time to process everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then like as the movie like. There's so much movie. It's like, how are they going to fit any more movie? What are they going to do next? And it's like, oh, there's another hour left. What? They've done so much, you know?
I agree too. It didn't feel like what was the running time, like 2:20 or something?
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel like it at all.
You know, I just, I guess at the edge of a point where I thought something was going to last too long, they went someplace else.
Right.
I just really enjoyed the groupings that they did. Like
Yeah,
I really liked. Well, first of all, what I really enjoyed about it most was the way that I guess Kevin Feige wove all these things together, and there was a thread going through all 18 movies where every single movie was really relevant to what was going on.
Right.
Like for example, I love that. And I had no idea. I didn't even think about it when I was watching it. I love how Ragnarok, like, led right into this movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're escaping Asgard, and you know, and that's gonna be the. I had no like concept that was gonna be the setup
Right.
for this movie, and I liked how you know they sent out a distress signal, and then the Guardians picked that up, and that was a great way to bring them together, and the humor with Thor and Star-Lord was
great.
Just amazing. Like, hey, Quill, you changing your voice? I am not. I am not changing my voice.
It was so great. And they also didn't have to do it like in order, because correct me if I'm wrong, Joey, Black Panther came out after Ragnarok, right?
All right, so what happens chronologically? Yeah, Black Panther is the most recent movie, but chronologically it takes place Civil War, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Ragnarok.
Black Panther, so okay.
All right.
But
it doesn't matter because Ragnarok doesn't take place in the same location, so they're not
Exactly.
really. They don't really affect each other. Ragnarok and Black Panther have no effect on each other.
Are they going on like slightly simultaneously?
It's possible.
All right, so Black Panther picks up a week or so after Civil War. Spider-Man is 6 months. The initial 8 years later is actually a typo on Sony's part. It's supposed to be 4 years after the events of Avengers 1.
All right.
So Spider-Man's just been Spider-Man for 2 years, and then Infinity War picks up.
Got it.
Gotcha. So, but I really, as someone who appreciates storytelling, I thought that was a monumental feat of getting all these storylines, and it really felt like a payoff, like for all the people, and you know I've liked, I'd say, 90% of the Marvel movies. Like there were a few stinkers, you know, here or there. Like I wasn't crazy about Iron Man 3.
I didn't care for the first two Thor movies, but
Yeah, I
Ragnarok
thought-
was fun.
I thought some of the Thor movies were weak. I didn't really care for the Hulk. And like so there were, and you know,
Forget about that.
The second Guardians movie was sort of like okay.
Yeah.
You know, like I sort of like, you know, but most of the time I really dug it. Like especially the first Captain America movie was awesome.
Yeah, no, that's one of my favorites. After like reviewing them in kind of preparation for this,
Yeah.
like first Captain America movie, Spider-Man: Homecoming, I really like.
But is that now that's part of the MCU, but that's not a Marvel movie, right?
All right, so it's a Marvel movie licensed by Sony.
Okay.
So Sony takes some of the profits and retains their rights to Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse.
But
Okay.
but it's still this, but it is the MCU.
It is canonically MCU.
Gotcha.
I like that. We never reviewed that movie, which is fine. But I think I was telling Phil or somebody, but I said I really liked Homecoming, and it's the same reason I liked Ghostbusters. Is because it's so clumsy. Like he doesn't know what he's doing, you know, and he's learning. And same thing with like Ghostbusters. Like they don't really know what they're doing, but they're faced with this like catastrophic thing. I think that's why I enjoyed it that much.
I'm gonna take a quick break here just to take care of a little business. Let's see if I can do this. Okay.
Hey.
Oh, I didn't set that up, did I?
No.
Okay. Give me a second to set that up.
This.
Let's go back to this. And,
How-
why don't you keep talking while I set that up?
How black could the screen be there?
None more black.
None more black.
But okay, but here's what I wanted to say. If you're, I know a lot of people were sort of bummed that. Oh, I guess I can't do this while I was doing this. Crap. All right, we're gonna go. The screen's gonna get black for a second. As you might have noticed, the studio has changed.
Yes.
We're under construction right now. This is the first show we've done in the new space. Next week we're gonna have a band music show. I know everybody's been asking for it. It's taken me a while to get everything back up and running. It's actually finished in the can. So next week, I promise you, we're gonna have a music episode. But right now, I have to go. I have to make this black for a second while I finish it. And it'll take me 2
What'd you do? You turned the whole podcast off. Well, turn it back on. Turn it back
on. If you want to use our tip jar, that's richiecastellano.com/tip-jar, and you can support Band Geek with a PayPal form from our partner site Streamlabs. And if you use Amazon, go to riotcast.com/bandgeek and use Amazon like you normally would. But then when you check out, a small percentage of your purchase goes to supporting our show, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. And we now have Band Geek merch, whatever is left of it. And
there's more coming.
Yeah, there's more coming. It's bandgeek.merchtable.com for these awesome hats and T-shirts. Okay, so that was a little awkward, but don't worry about it. We're back.
Hey.
Okay, so. This is, I call this growing pains with the podcast or the web show.
Show me that smile again.
Exactly. So now, okay, we're back, and now Phil and Joey are a different color. And okay, so let's do it like this. What was your favorite and least favorite thing or scene about the movie? And I'm sure you've been thinking about this, Jared.
No, I kind of have to think. So let somebody else go first.
All right. What about you, Joey?
All right. So Spider-Man's like my dude, like Queens all the way. So like, but like I was born in Greenwich Village. My park hanging out was Washington Square Park. Like growing up, like that's where I would go. So to see Spider-Man and Iron Man like fighting an alien in Washington Square Park, like. I'm sorry, my brain just like came a little like it was so cool. Like I don't know, just as you know, a New Yorker, like seeing all the cool New York stuff, like Avengers, we got, you know, a little Grand Central, Midtown action, you know, in Spider-Man you see like just some parts of Queens and stuff. Mm-hmm. But then like to see like you leave like Doctor Strange, he's like on the corner of Bleecker and McDougal. You go down McDougal, you got Mamoon's. You keep going on Bleecker, you make a right, you got John's, you got Joe's Best Pizza in Manhattan.
Right.
Like it's all that stuff is right there, and it's just like that's me. I know where they are, and then they like go over the Christopher West 4th 6th Avenue thing by Village Cigars. It's just like what? It's like this is my friend's house. Like,
is that deli in Spider-Man Homecoming actually there?
Sorry?
Is that deli in Spider-Man Homecoming actually there?
They filmed some of it in New York, some of it in Atlanta, and some of it in DC.
Yeah, Wakanda was in Atlanta. I'm not going to comment on that further. But
Atlanta's great. They got tons of Chick-fil-A's there.
Yeah, but the Spider-Man thing, like in Homecoming, like he goes into a bodega, he knows everyone. Yeah. There's a bodega cat. Like, he knows the bodega cat.
Phil, well, hi, doggy.
Hi, dog.
Sorry, me and Phil watched The Room last week.
No.
It was tough. So, okay, what is there anything you didn't like or you wish happened differently? What?
Well, one thing they did in The Defenders was like first scene of The Defenders, you get a diner, someone walks up, bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. Avengers Infinity War, like while taking place in New York, didn't feel as New York as Spider. I mean, like part of it's in New York, but didn't feel as New York as Homecoming because, like, I don't know, like the entire time, like even as he's evaporating, like I'm waiting for Spider-Man to go like, dead ass. B, like, I don't want to go, B.
So you think he's not an authentic New Yorker, that guy, because he's English?
I mean, yeah.
I think this city's quite quaint.
So Phil, favorite part?
Favorite part had to have been when Thanos chucked the moon at Tony Stark and he took it like a champ. Thanos does the wind up and then you see the moon start to crumble and oh my god, it was like take your breath away epic. That scene is like Probably one of my favorites, like my favorite scene in the movie is that scene.
It's like what we wanted to see Luke Skywalker do in Last Jedi.
Yeah, Thanos did it.
Like pull a Star Destroyer out of the sky and throw it at somebody.
God. Great.
And what do you wish was different, or you didn't like, or what?
No, nothing. Like I hated when they had Thanos like pinned down. It made me like hate Peter Quill for like a good couple
There's
minutes.
some memes going around the internet, like this guy, like this picture of Star-Lord saying "useless," you know.
Oh, that for me that was like, dude, what are you doing? You're being an asshole right now. Like, chill the fuck out.
I like that too. I got like super anxious when they were like, dude, like we almost got this thing off. Stop.
And they showed you.
And they showed like it was like off his hand.
So okay, Muff, favorite, least favorite.
So my favorite is two things because it's always two things. I liked the cameos. I was not expecting Red Skull to show up fucking 8 years later, you know, from whenever Captain America was, 7-8 years later, whatever that was.
7
7
years ago.
You know,
2011.
And like,
but
and like
in the timeline, in the Marvel timeline, it's like 80 years.
And then also just seeing Peter Dinklage like really huge.
It's a mold.
Me and Phil, my second viewing, I sit next to Phil, and right before he said it, I leaned over to Phil. I go, "It's a mood." And now we haven't been able to stop doing that, and Amory wants to murder us. We just keep going. Like I'll just call him randomly. It's a mood. And then like the other day we're doing laundry, and she's like, "What are you doing with that shirt?" I go, "It's a food."
Oh, that's
I'll be
amazing.
divorced soon. So you guys know.
If you're not divorced by now.
Yeah. So okay, now least favorite.
Oh no, and then the other thing too, just it really tugged at my heartstring, which was like, you know, in Wonder Woman where she's like, "Steve, I can do it. Let me do it," and you're like, "Oh God, let her do it." when Peter was fading away and he's like, "Mr. Stark, I don't want to go," I was like, "Oh my God, don't let him go."
That was rough. That part.
Oh, that was really rough.
Real that's in
Tears.
Least favorite part was yeah, I think it was like Star-Lord being a dick. Like I felt like he seemed super out of place. Like everybody else kind of had a purpose and like something else to do, and he seemed slightly out of place in there.
It's funny because I'm going to say the exact opposite of you.
Really?
Yes.
Always.
My favorite part of the movie was a part I've been like fantasizing about for years. Is when the Guardians met up with the Avengers. Like I was waiting for that. I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my God, they're going to meet the Avengers. It's going to be epic. And I felt like it was like when they broke onto the ship.
Yeah.
The Guardians did. And it's like, oh my God, this is the first time. And I'm thinking like, there's like Iron Man is gonna just kick the crap out of all the Guardians.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, not for nothing, like Peter Quill like held it down in that fight. Like he really did. He basically he dispatched like all of them like immediately. And then I love the whole interplay between like Tony Stark, who is like the alpha male of the Avengers,
right,
like with Peter Quill, who is the like wannabe alpha male of the Guardians, and how it was like, I liked everything about your plan, but it sucked, and he kept saying, but the thing is that like Tony Stark is like this like one of the most brilliant minds that is in this like this universe, and Peter Quill is essentially a 7-year-old man, a 7-year-old boy in a man's body,
right,
and he's got like powers,
and like I get see. Even though, like, he got emotional at the end, I felt like he had to because his whole arc up to that point was amazing. Like, the whole thing when he was on, like, when he first met Thor and was, like, super threatened by him.
Right.
Like, that was incredible. Like the whole audience was roaring when we watched that.
Yeah.
And then, like, and when the fight with the Avengers on the ship, and even like he was like kicking the crap out of Spider-Man, and he's like a low-level character. You know what I mean? He's like a C tier, D tier character, and he's like fighting the A-Team, and he's holding his own. And then he just said, and when they finally caught Thanos, even though he undid his plan, he goes, "That was my plan." Like Tony Stark's like, "You're gonna do this," and he said, "That's great, but it sucks."
Right.
And then the plan he came up with Mantis coming out of the freaking Doctor Strange portal and like mind controlling Thanos. Like, that was brilliant. Like, that was so cool. Like, that was one of those things, like, if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons and you come up with that plan, the DM goes like this. That's gotta work. You know what I mean? The DM's like, if I don't roll a 1, that's gonna work. You know what I mean? Like, it was so brilliant. My least favorite...
I agree with you, by the way, on all of that, with the exception of, like it's the thing, the meme going around. I was like, oh, God, that...
The thing is, they can't beat him that way.
No, I know, but I'm just saying,
it's
like...
over. It's like, obviously, something has to happen, and they really... And I felt like they had to drive it home how much Gamora meant to him, because I read somewhere that that the next Guardians movies are going to be about her.
Right.
So I feel like that's not necessarily going to be a bad thing, and that's going to come back and be important.
Right.
You know what I mean? My least favorite thing, and it's such a nitpicky thing, because I thought this movie was like I give this 100% across the board. My least favorite thing about the movie, I'd say, is that there was no Hugh Jackman Wolverine in it. Because I'm like, if there was a time to whip that out, it would have been here. You know what I mean? Like, or just not. Okay, and I understand that maybe. And I was talking to another one of our friends, and he was saying, like, never say never, because maybe they're holding that in their back pocket for the next Avengers movie, where he'll just show up out of like a pocket universe or something like that.
Joey's shaking his head like, no.
But Joey, you don't think that would be amazing if that happened?
Legally, Marvel Disney can't use any X-Men characters other than Quicksilver or Scarlet Witch until the end of 2019.
Well, okay, so maybe the next Avengers movie that can happen. You know?
Not Avengers 4. I want to say by Avengers 5, we will at least get like, oh, hey, it turns out this person's got the X gene. Let's track down other people with this. And like, we'll get like hints of the mutant universe. I think Fantastic Four is going to be their first priority.
Okay.
Yeah, they got to get them in there. They got to fix them.
If they got to get Fantastic Four as quick as possible, because like that's the next villain. I think after Thanos should be Doctor Doom. Mm-hmm. It's like after Thanos should be like Secret Wars, Doctor Doom, all out, like chaos.
We're gonna get back to Doctor Doom in a second, because I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because I know you just read this, Phil.
Hey Richie, what is that?
Yeah.
This is my
No.
I'll explain it again.
Oh.
It's a mold of a comic book now. And also I was like, okay, but I understand that that's like a pipe dream to have, you know, that's like as ridiculous as saying, wouldn't it be cool if Batman showed up?
But how cool would it be to like just like, hey, look at our dick, like, and now we're fucking whipping it on the table like hard.
But also, I thought in the New York parts, I thought it would have been cool just to have like Easter eggs there of the Defenders, like locking it down while the Avengers are in Wakanda.
You know, Joey set up. Yes, I agree.
Well, I mean, there's some like weird timeline stuff going on with the Defenders. We're not really sure. Luke Cage comes out in a couple of weeks. Luke Cage season 2. Right. So we'll find out. Spoilers for the Defenders. I don't know. But Daredevil is currently MIA.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was coming out later this year.
But like, if the Defenders were to show up, it would probably just be like Luke Cage and Iron Fist, because right now they're doing that Heroes for Hire
thing. Still, even if it is just Luke Cage showing up, like if just like to show, because they're really like priding themselves on this whole like interconnected universe where the TV shows like are part of the movie universe, but like, why not just give a little nod to that? Because that's like a whole other thing going on. I thought like just to put, not even to like, you don't even need like dialogue, just to have like one scene, like something happening in New York, and even during that fight in the beginning, like if Luke Cage just showed up and just like helped one thing, or like say like a tree was about to fall on Bruce Banner, and instead of Spider-Man grabbing it, it would have been like Luke Cage, just like, hey, like everybody would have went crazy.
Right, I would have even taken.
Everyone would have gone crazy, but it's not like Luke Cage stays mostly uptown. Like they're in Washington Square Park.
Okay, fine, but like still, like anybody, like just put somebody there from that universe, just to really drive the point home that they're in the same universe. I would
have even taken like, you know, when they're having that fight in New York and like breaking buildings, like, you know, Batman like Man of Steel style, like breaking through buildings and stuff like that, like break through, and then see like Jessica Jones's like, you know, the glass for her door break, you know, like it always does, or you know what I mean, or something like that, or like, you know, going through a bar that she's drinking in and her fucking whiskey bottle breaks, or whatever. It's something even simple like that, and like not even helping, just her sitting idly by or something.
Or like when super spoilers, if you guys didn't stay around to the, like, how many Marvel movies have there been now? You don't know to stay after the credits?
Right.
I can't believe people leave in the middle of the credits now. It's like, there's been 18 of them. You don't get it by now? You're supposed to wait? But there's an after credits thing where Hill and
Nick
Fury, they both vanish. And it would have been great to like have they vanish, you pan over and it's like sweet Christmas, you know? just to put something in there. But I understand why they didn't. But that's such a nitpicky little thing because I thought it was a perfect superhero movie, to be honest. Like if I'm giving it a score right now out of 10, I'm giving it 10. I am. What about? And I know probably lower for you. Like you might want to give it a 2 or something.
No, it's not that.
You hate everything.
I don't hate everything. It's not a 2. Were you guys, Joey and Phil? Were you guys upset that Ant-Man and who else was missing?
Hawkeye.
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 They weren't in it.
Yeah, and they commented on it, but
yeah, it's a little sad, but you know.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out in a couple months, so like I get it. Maybe we'll get like a post-credit scene in that where like it's like, oh no, Hank Pym disappeared. What's happening?
Right.
And then they turn on the news and it's like, oh, there's some shit going down. But like, I bet Hawkeye's going to be an Ant-Man and the Wasp. Maybe if only a post-credit scene where his whole family disappears.
maybe.
Interesting.
Oh, Linda Cardellini's gonna disappear? No, I'm not down with that. That's gonna hurt.
That's on your list.
Oh God, my list.
So at the end credits scene, he takes out like a space beeper, Nick Fury, and he contacts what it looks like to be Captain Marvel, not the one on Jared's hat, but the Marvel Captain Marvel.
We'll get into that when we review Captain Marvel and Shazam.
Yeah. So the theory is that she's away in space and he's contacting her in space. My theory, which is probably totally wrong, is that that is a communication that travels through time. That he's contacting her in the past before any of this stuff happens. That's my theory. What do you think of that, Joey?
I think Captain Marvel's going to be interesting because it's going to open a whole box of worms that was already kind of like slightly opened on S.H.I.E.L.D. with the reveal of the guest house and the Tahiti Protocol. If you don't know, that's part of how Coulson was brought back and got to star in his own TV show. Basically, it's a combination of major spoilers for S.H.I.E.L.D. Kree blood and flesh. They've got a Kree on ice, and they're just taking parts of them. They've had it since the 90s, apparently. And they used that, plus with some tech, to bring Coulson back. They've done it to a few other agents, messes them up. It's got this whole link to the Inhumans. Anyway, Captain Marvel happens to take place in the 90s, happens to star Nick Fury, Maria Hill, Agent Coulson. So
And the Kree.
we'll see how the Tahiti Protocol got enacted, and maybe someone else even gets resurrected that way.
Okay, so I just, because I know the movie's taking place in the 90s, I just felt like maybe he was reaching out through time to message her saying something goes horribly wrong in the future, you have to stop it, and that's going to be part of maybe time travel be part of the solution.
Time travel on S.H.I.E.L.D. is a little more complicated. They don't have really that tech. They cryo-freeze an ancient immortal robot cryo-freezes one of the cast. And of course, the last thing he says before he gets frozen is his friend goes, "I love you." And he says, "I know." Nice little nod.
Yeah.
They're all nerds on S.H.I.E.L.D. So, but like they either have to cryo-freeze themselves or they have to use these ancient obelisks to get into the future. And it's not really like the tech's not there on S.H.I.E.L.D. So I don't know why Fury, who gets most of his tech from S.H.I.E.L.D., would not have why Fury would have time travel tech and Coulson and his team wouldn't.
Right. So
If you can give like a little like less than 45-second summary, how is S.H.I.E.L.D. still happening? Like, isn't S.H.I.E.L.D. gone? Like, what? I only went past like the first season.
S.H.I.E.L.D. season 1, first half pretty boring. Thor tie-in pretty cool. Winter Soldier tie-in. Whoa, we got to deal with this Hydra stuff. Fury's got like this secret implemented protocol. He's like, Coulson, you're gonna head S.H.I.E.L.D. now, rebuild it, recruit people, get Deathlock working again. Deal with the Inhumans.
Okay.
It's Coulson rebuilding S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're back in the shadows after having revealed themselves to the world. Now they're on the run again. It's a whole thing.
So let's talk about. Now, Phil, you just finished reading this because I'm at the end of book 2.
Mm-hmm.
Where do the people who vanished go somewhere in this book?
Well, it's funny because the Silver Surfer, like Adam Warlock, they all come from inside the Soul Gem, so it's possible. Like I haven't read further; I've only read the Gauntlet. It's possible they're trapped inside.
Silver Surfer.
But I'm not 100% sure on that because it's going to snap back into existence.
Wait, when Thanos snaps his fingers in the book, where the people go into the Soul Gem?
It's possible.
No, but is that what happens in the book? I'm asking you.
No, it doesn't happen in the book. They just disappear, but it might have happened like behind.
How do
the
they
scenes.
come back in the book? Spoilers.
What happens is he loses the gauntlet to Nebula.
Okay.
She like undoes everything.
Oh, so do you think that's going to happen in the movie, or do you think that's too obvious?
It would be kind of cool. Like they're kind of like in the book, in the book, like Nebula is like he brings her back to use her as a tool to like attract death like further.
Yeah.
So they don't really. That's not really what happens in the movies. But it is possible they go the route where Nebula does manage to kill Thanos, because in the movie Thanos does mention that Nebula got close to actually killing him.
Right.
Right, and also Nebula and Tony Stark are the only ones still alive.
Exactly.
On
So it's possible that Nebula's like plans this like another like heist with Tony, and they maybe see some cool stuff happen. And also, I look forward to seeing the relationship between Nebula and Tony, because like she's all tech, and that's Tony's deal. Like maybe he'll learn stuff. Maybe they'll have like a cool like flow. You know what I mean?
Maybe
Like
Tony will like mod her.
Yeah, or she'll teach him stuff. Like it's like
Tony learned a whole bunch from Wakanda. Yeah. Like he suddenly discovered nanotech that can make his suit after like the whole Black Panther stuff.
Yeah, so that's a cool relationship I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, because there were some things in the movie that were right out of the book. For example, like in the book it was the Silver Surfer, but that's a Sony character. So
that whole opening sequence was like perfect.
Yeah, but then
Fox, Sony.
Fox, Fox, right? But the Hulk falling through the Doctor Strange's place, that's right out of the book. That's right out of the book. Exactly worked the same way. And I thought that was interesting to put him in that situation. But a lot of people complained about the Hulk and his lack of being in the movie.
Yeah, how did you feel about him being in Hulkbuster armor the entire time?
I thought that was awesome.
I thought it was fantastic. Phenomenal.
I wasn't expecting it. What I really liked about it was that the Hulk, for the last like however many movies, him turning into the Hulk was a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was something that he couldn't control, right? And now he realizes that we realize the Hulk has never been beaten. And Thanos beat him so soundly using giant kung fu.
Yeah.
He throat punched him or punched him in a nerve or something, and basically the Hulk turned to nothing.
Yeah.
And won't come. And I thought that was interesting. But people hey, Banner can't get it up or whatever. I'm but it was cool because he had to really rely on being Bruce Banner for a while, which he's never had to worry about.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting. Oh, and this brings me to the next thing. Who's your favorite Avenger and who's your least favorite Avenger? Or not even Avenger, person in this movie. So, Joey, you go first.
Always Spider-Man, forever Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Batman.
Least favorite, Corvus Glaive.
Who's that?
The one of Thanos' Black Order. I might have them mixed up.
But was he in this movie?
Who doesn't do a lot except for get his ass whooped by Vision and Scarlet Witch early on, and then he hides in T'Challa's tower. Actually, Shuri's workplace.
Didn't you say least favorite Avenger?
Oh, he said least favorite person in this movie.
Oh, okay.
But if we were to go hero, least favorite hero, come back to me.
Okay. Or we could just do favorites. I don't care. Phil, you go.
They're all so good. All right, happy. I don't know.
Phil, you go.
My favorite Avenger is Tony Stark. Hands down, Tony. I love me Tony. I love Tony.
That's okay.
My least favorite character. If we're going characters, least favorite character in the movie was Ebony Maw. I hated him with a pat, but it was good. It was a good hate.
He was great, that guy.
Wait, who?
the Maw, the guy who was on the spaceship who captured Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay.
So like the thing is, I hated him so much, but it was a glorious hate. Like I enjoyed to hate
Like,
him.
we were meant to
with
hate him.
with a passion. I hated him more than I hated Thanos.
He
He's
looked
crazy.
like the guy from Star Wars, like the banking clan.
Yeah. Least favorite Avenger would probably have to be. You're not gonna like this, Joey, but Falcon.
What's wrong with Falcon?
I don't like Falcon.
What's wrong with Falcon?
Falcon kind of bores me. I don't know. I don't
yes,
like Falcon.
he's just a man with wings and guns, but he's still a good fighter.
It kind of bores me. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't like Falcon. Falcon's like
Well, he's funny at least.
it kind of.
No, it was good. It was good. What about you?
Even though, so least favorite, even though they're a focal point of the movie, but I will tell you one thing I did like about them is Scarlet Witch and Vision.
Okay.
I don't know. Thank you. I got some affirmation there. I don't know. They're just not super interesting to me anymore. But I will say how incredibly messed up it was that he got, what was the last stone? What is it? The Mind Stone?
Mind Stone, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Thanos, like they got the Mind Stone and she destroyed it, and then he died. And then Thanos turned back time and then ripped it out of his head, and she had to watch him die again. Yeah. Like I was like, oh, that's messed up.
Oh, it was so cool.
Oh no, I mean like in a good way. Like, oh man, that's just oh god. Like I felt so uncomfortable, but it was like it was cool for sure. And yeah, I gotta go with Phil, with Tony.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. He's just cool. Like he just knows everything.
And they really played it up that he's like the most powerful Avenger in this movie.
Yeah.
Although it would be a tough fight between him and Scarlet Witch because they made her like literally she was the only one that could easily hurt Thanos.
Right. Close second to Tony Stark, Rocket.
Oh yeah, Rocket was good in this
awesome.
one. I'm gonna go with for my favorite. Everybody knows my favorite is Black Widow, which everybody's like, why? I was like, because she has like no armor on, nothing except the fact that she has training. That's the only thing she has. And basically, she like every fight she didn't like do like the thing that Batman does, which is like I'm just gonna hang back and throw darts while she like went right in there. Like, okay, this is the thing that can hurt them. I'll grab this weapon and I couldn't believe how amazing they made her in this movie. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't believe, like, she was going toe-to-toe with the alien things and just kicking the crap out of them.
Yeah.
And they made her with the, what's the name of the Black Panther's Royal Guard?
General Okoye?
Yeah, but her like...
Michonne.
Michonne, thank you, yes.
Okoye.
But, like, there's, like, a name for the whole group of them.
Dora Milaje.
Dora Milaje. Like, she basically, like, these are, like, you know, women who are bred from birth to be like amazing fighters, and she was just like right in there with them, and they like looked at her like, whoa, you know, like she was almost fighting as well as or better than Captain America, which I thought Captain America was a little underutilized.
Yeah.
And as much as I want to say like Captain America was my least favorite Avenger in this movie, but he had some great moments where he's like, I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
That was so great.
It's like so like
Every time.
Oh my god.
It's just like, oh no, he's just an alien.
And I like what's Black Panther's sister's name? Shuri?
Shuri.
I like her.
I almost want to make her my least favorite Avenger in this movie.
Really?
Because she was so cool in Black Panther,
right.
And like just like the person in front of the computer at this movie. You know what I mean? Like every movie has the guy in front of the computer, and
right.
that was her in this movie.
Man in a chair.
Man in a chair.
Yeah.
But, no, she had one job to do, and she kind of did it.
Yeah.
She had a mission. Everyone had a mission, you know?
No, but it's just like it's like her job. It's like of course like. Bruce Banner goes up to her and she's like, "Oh, you're pretty dumb, huh?" I'm like, why do you have to throw that in there? Just like we get it. She's a strong, powerful woman and she's so smart. But it's like you have to drive that point home by saying, "Oh, like, hey, you're a dumb old guy." Like I'm like, okay, and he's like, and the whole time that was another thing that pissed me off about that movie. The whole time the movie, Bruce Banner's like, "Oh, I don't know. I guess." It's like,
I'm sorry, what was he doing?
You know, he didn't know what he was doing the whole time. And he's supposed to be like Tony Stark level smart, right?
Yeah, I don't know. He's just a little out of his element, you know?
I guess. I guess I didn't really dislike anybody. I just thought that there were some people underutilized, and I understand why, because this was such a ridiculous feat to put everybody in there. Like,
right?
Because Shuri was so integral to Black Panther, and it was sort of like, oh, we got to put that girl in this movie.
Right.
Let's have her do something. And also Vision, I thought was kind of lame. Like Vision, got his butt kicked way too easily.
That's what I'm saying.
Time.
Like he was super powerful
Yeah.
in
Ultron.
Ultron. Thank you.
Yeah, like
couldn't even think
No,
of James.
it was the scepter. The scepter disabled his phasing, so that nerfs his whole power level.
I just feel like he was on the ground a lot.
Yeah. No, but it's like, oh my God, Vision's here. It's gonna be great. And it's like, it wasn't that great.
Yeah.
You know? And but also I feel like there might be stuff on the cutting room floor of Steve Rogers really kicking ass.
Yeah.
Bet.
And also, okay, maybe I'll change my whole thing because I just thought of somebody.
Okay.
Winter Soldier.
Bucky.
Winter Soldier.
I love Bucky.
No, but I felt like he shot a bunch of people in this movie, and that's about it. It's like there's this huge build up to getting him back in action, and he had to go to be rehabilitated in Wakanda, and then he comes back and it's just like, I'm shooting people. Oh, I'm gone.
Well, it's the same. That I would say Falcon is definitely down on my list too. Like I agree. Like he's just, it's like, oh, he's flying and he's shooting, and then somebody knocks him down and his wings retract.
I guess they can't all be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
You remember what Beavis said? You have to have stuff that sucks to have stuff that's cool.
Sure.
It's very deep. Anyway, so what's the next MCU movie coming out?
Oh, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay, that's the next one.
That's like
Then
soon,
Captain
right?
Marvel.
That takes place before this happened.
We don't know. For all we know, it could take place during. It could take place right after, right before. Because Bobby Cannavale and Judy Greer are both just not in the trailers. So maybe Scott Lang, now a single father without any other help. He lost his ex-wife and Bobby Cannavale to the Thanos. So maybe we'll see some repercussions of that. We're about to see some repercussions in S.H.I.E.L.D. next week because this episode more or less ended, well, other than the whole Graviton thing, but it ended with they're like, oh, you guys see what's happening in New York right now, downtown? And it's like, no, we can't deal with that. There's an alien spacecraft above our heads right now. Let's deal with that. And then the episode, yeah. So we're going to see some loss on S.H.I.E.L.D. There's some time-traveling grandchildren going to disappear.
Oh, I didn't think of that. The lost
whole thing. Yeah.
The lost grandchildren.
But maybe Coulson's going to die
I have
for real.
no
this
idea
time.
what any of that means.
Oh,
But
I'm so lost.
I'm sure it's amazing.
But it
Okay,
sounds-
did we? I know I said that I had the 10 out of 10 for my score. Did we go around the room with that yet?
No.
Okay, Jarrett, what's yours?
Oh, I've only seen it once, so I definitely have to give it a rewatch. I don't think I'll do that in theaters though, because I just don't have the time. I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7, which I gave fucking Last Jedi and fucking Justice League lower, so
Okay.
that's saying something.
Okay, it is. Phil?
I give it a 10 out of 10.
Joey?
6 out of 6.
Wait, all right.
I can't do that math.
I give it 4 mustards
It's
out
100%.
of 3
But
mustards.
there's 6 Infinity Stones, and you got all of them. So
Oh,
Scale.
I like that. That's nice.
So we're doing it on stones.
I give it 6 Infinity Stones.
6 Infinity Stones. I
Okay,
give it
there you
all.
go.
6 out of 6.
Oh, that's what was missing.
It's
I forgot my
a
I
joke.
agree. I agree with that.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back and so Jarrett can make a joke that he was playing.
That's done.
No,
I'm
I
so-
just noticed it on my phone.
You wrote down a joke to use today?
No, I sent it to Phil, I sent it to you, I sent it to our friend Adam, and just the entire movie because they just kept talking about the stones, and all I kept hearing was Molaram in my head, just going like, the stones will be found! You won't! That was it.
That's you know what? I'm glad you shared it. I just realized something else that
Because we like to end the episode on a, huh. And
I just realized that I don't have the ending credits set up for this either, so it's going to be another awkward little pause, but whatever.
Oh.
We're getting it together, folks. We're getting it together.
Band
So,
Geek, a work in progress. That's going to be our new t-shirt.
I want to thank our Berkeley chapter of Band Geek, Phil Castellato and Joey Albano Feiger. I want to thank my co-host, Jarrett Pressman.
Oh my god. Look how fucking skinny
And
I
I'm
am.
Richie Castellano, and here's some awkward silence for a second as I fix this.
Bye, Richie.
Oh, and Justine! Justine!
Justine!
Pop in for a second.
She's coming. She's coming.
She's coming.
Hey.
Thank you, Justine. It was
Hey.
wonderful to have you on the show.
Oh,
I'm glad I got to
um,
see the top of my head.
I forgot something I found out like an hour ago that I wanted to mention in this.
Go ahead.
One thing left on the cutting room floor, like you were talking before, like the Hulk bursting out of the Hulkbuster
That would have
armor.
been dope as
Oh,
shit.
I was-
that.
I was
They-
expecting that too.
Oh, but you know what? Also, there was stuff in the trailers that they didn't even put in the movie, like
Mhm.
landing in New York.
And they
Saying,
photoshopped
one
Thanos
doesn't
stuff.
expect balancing the universe to be fun, but you know, I will enjoy this. Like that's not even in the movie. So maybe something else happened, or maybe you don't know anymore if they just film things just for the trailers.
Could even be,
say
could
that
even be
in
some
the
scenes from the next
scene?
movie. Could be some scene, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, there could have been some stuff.
could have been scenes from the next one filmed already, you know?
They did film it all at once.
I agree though. Like I feel like that would have been a home run, but it was expected, but it really would have been cool.
Yeah, whatever. I was so happy with this, and you know what? I totally forgot to talk about the most important thing in this movie. What do you think about all the people they killed?
Oh my goodness.
Everybody's dead. It's amazing.
Oh my
So
god.
Yeah.
I mean, like, which one? Like, Spider-Man hurt the most. It seemed like,
That's what
It did. That hurt
Yes.
the most.
but
Well, no, the first one and the last one, Spider-Man and Bucky.
But they really, it's the thing is, as much as I love them sticking to their guns with like rolling credits after everybody died, I was like, yeah, you do that, you screw everybody. But then I was like, wait a minute, Black Panther just made $1 billion. They're not killing off Black Panther. Forget it.
No, but they did it. They also did the credits in like the Red Wedding style, like Game of Thrones. Like after the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones, the credits were silent, and that hurt more.
It was like the serious episode of Golden Girls.
Yeah.
And you know what else? They ended the movie with the Picardy third. Like, what the hell?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's some band geek stuff. I like that. All right, so I'm going to end the episode, and it's going to have a little.
Fuck you both.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.